From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
You want to go where to buy a new refrigerator? Steve's A to Z Appliance in Cottonwood? In Cottonwood? Just a 10-minute drive. And they'll save us money. New and used, honest, reliable, factory-trained repair service and parts, and they'll save us money. And dispose of this thing? We gotta make the short drive to Steve's A to Z. Thanks, son.
Steve's A to Z Appliance, front and main streets in Cottonwood. Drive a little, save a lot.
Hello everyone, Mike Kruger, Weather NorCal. This is your afternoon update for your Tuesday. And as we look at our weather headlines, what we've got here is the heat wave. Now the heat wave, the temperatures today are going to be a lot like yesterday, so not much changes. So really when I say the heat wave peaks today, it's really it peaked yesterday and today, but the downward trend in our temperature starts tomorrow. Now we're also tracking the potential for more thunderstorms in the higher elevations, especially to the east and even north of the valley. Not only today, but tomorrow is going to be a bit of a concern as well. So that's something we'll have to monitor very closely. As I mentioned, the cooling trend will start tomorrow, especially going into the weekend, but warmer going into next week, wouldn't you know it. Here's a look at your neighborhood at a glance here for today. As I mentioned, today is kind of that peak. So we're going to be around 100 degrees for many of the higher elevations. Still a chance for thunderstorms in Modoc County and in the eastern mountains. Not so much for Siskiyou County today, but as I mentioned, by tomorrow, that may change. Now let's talk about the winds. The winds this afternoon, not a major concern, just a bit breezy in some of the typical spots. But what I am concerned about is the fact that the winds will be stronger for tomorrow. A bit of a wind event, if you will, not a major one, but I do expect the winds to be stronger than we see with your typical afternoon breezes. We're talking 20, 25, 30, maybe even upwards of 35 mile an hour gusts. That is enough to really elevate that fire danger. Then as we go into your Thursday, it looks like a bit gusty again. So we could be looking at a couple of days of those gusty winds here as we go into tomorrow and Thursday. Looking at the fire weather risk, typical spots, right? Central Siskiyou County, Modoc, Eastern Mountains, and of course the Valley. Not as bad, but still some, we'll call it moderate to high fire danger in parts of Trinity County and Western Siskiyou County for Wednesday as well. And then of course that continues into Thursday, of course with those gusty winds I was talking about. Now, the monsoon moisture is mainly to our east, but we are still seeing that monsoon moisture kind of creeping its way westward into Northern California. In fact, there is a disturbance that'll be moving through really tomorrow morning and could impact, has that potential to impact parts of the valley tomorrow. Let's get into that here. Of course, there's a chance for thunderstorms mainly to the east. So it's showing Modoc County, but even Lassen County, Plumas County could see a chance for thunderstorms. But to the west of that, I don't expect any thunderstorms. Now look at tomorrow morning. Look at that little disturbance and that moisture passing through even the valley. Now, could we see rain in Chico? Most likely not, but there is that potential for maybe a stray thunderstorm popping up. You can see that disturbance pushes its way northeastward through the morning hours on Wednesday, so eastern Shasta County around Boerne, but still some clouds to start off the day in the valley. Those clouds should dissipate by the afternoon. Now, we see a bit of a break Wednesday around noon, but then more thunderstorms popping up in the eastern mountains tomorrow afternoon, and eventually even parts of Siskiyou County could see some of those thunderstorms as well. And then it looks like by Thursday, that's all pretty much out of here. And by the way, not as much fog along the coast on Thursday afternoon as well. So the main concern for today and tomorrow with those thunderstorms, obviously, is going to be the potential for lightning. Now, the good news is, even though these are high-based thunderstorms, we could be looking at some decent rain coming out of a lot of these thunderstorms, which will bring us some much-needed rainfall. But as you know, even outside of the main rain shaft itself, you can still get lightning strikes in those drier areas outside of the perimeter of where the main rain is. So that's obviously an area of concern as well. So the heat, the dome of heat, pushes to our east as we progress through the rest of the week and into this weekend, which means cooler temperatures for us for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now notice the area of high pressure back over the desert southwest that will rebuild for next week, but it builds pretty far to our south and east, which means even though temperatures are increasing for next week, the main dome of heat will be well off to our east, so not getting as hot as we are experiencing right now. Of course, so we do have that relief in sight. So for today, temperatures are going to be in that 108 to 100. So again, the peak of the heat wave is today. Even in the mountains, we're talking about temperatures over 100 degrees for some of those warmest spots. We take a look at the 7-day outlook, and you can see the downward trend in our temperatures. The normal high in the valley, 100, 101, we're below that by Friday. Low to mid 90s by the weekend, but there you can see that upward trend as we do go into next week. Taking a look at the coast, low to mid 60s, no big surprises there. Periods of some of that fog along the coast as well. Temperatures dropping inland, low 90s, not to mention out towards Trinity County as well. Taking a look at your 7-day outlook for Mount Shasta, and of course we're also talking about Alturas and Susanville. So the chances for thunderstorms this afternoon, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains. Not so much for Siskiyou County today, but tomorrow, as you saw on Futurecast, we could be looking at that potential. And then by Thursday, the chances for thunderstorms are gone. Cools off in the 80s for the mountains by Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but then we will see that upward trend as we take you into the beginning of next week and really even through a good portion of next week as well. That's your afternoon update. We'll be back this evening around 6 p.m. for your evening update. Have a great afternoon.
We're the locals down the street. The neighbor you come to for advice. A nest egg for the golden years. A loan or a new account for that growing business. What started in Chico 50 years ago has taken us all around California, providing big bank lending power and high-tech service, while keeping our relationships personal. We're still the locals down the street, no matter where your street might be. Tri-Counties Bank, California's local bank.